Need no freaking teleprompter.
Who's a duck?
I'm just trying not to say the F.
Oh,
So I said duck it.
just sounds better with the F. Here we are. It is the Flip Flop Power Hour, episode number 47.
Is it? 47.
That's what I just said.
Boy.
47.
50. Are we live?
We're live.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, guys. Glad
Do
to
we
be
have
here.
anybody here with us?
We got two people here. Let us know in the comments who you are, where you're from.
We got two people. We need 2 likes. Well, here, I'm going to go in and give us 3 people. We'll do 3 likes.
Oh, we got one
you
like.
guys have probably seen this format before. It's a question and answer. We'll jump right into it. We'll talk about anything. I'll tell you what I'm talking about today. I think I'm going to stop being a real estate investor because I bought some Bitcoin several years ago. And for most of the last
You
several
made 10
years,
grand.
I've been down like just a pile of money on it. And now I'm in the money, baby. I'm profitable. And
Diamond hands.
diamond hands. Yeah. I'm selling the Bitcoin and I'm moving into the alts. It's alt season, or it's going to be.
You're going all in on H-bar?
I'm going all in on H-bar.
Oh no.
Oh,
You know why I'm going all in on H-bar? Because a friend of mine at church told me that he was all in on it. And so I'm like, you know what? It's good enough for him. It's good enough for me. I think that's solid advice that you can just take to the bank. So if you guys have never heard of H-bar, it's Hedera Hashgraph. They
I don't
do
know
some
you should
neat
be
stuff.
plugging this stuff, man.
And I'm plugging the hell out of it because I'm going to invest dollars into this. And I'm probably going to put as much as like less than 1% of my net worth. But
Yeah,
I'm hoping to make, tens of dollars, maybe even thousands of tens.
Look, I can tell you this: if he's going all in on H-bar, everybody else should buy Bitcoin.
Inverse
works.
Roberts.
That's
crypto
right.
move.
Don't follow his advice. Just go against his advice, and he'll do better.
Yeah.
It's funny. I used to go to the horse track. My friend Brett Kelly, he's a pretty good handicapper. And there was a guy that was at the track that wasn't any good. And he had an Italian name. I don't remember his name, but it was a really great name, like Giuseppe or Guido or something like that. And it was Brett would yell out, "Hey Guido, who do you like in this race? I need someone to throw out."
That's a good one.
Well,
What's going on
one thing that
today?
we know how to do that isn't gambling is real estate. So if you guys have questions about real estate investing, let us have them. We're ready to go. We've got a couple of announcements that we'll get to later on in the show once more people get here. But, sneak peek, we're doing a live event. It's going to be free for Apex members. We'd love to see you there.
What's Apex, McKenna? What are you talking about?
Apex is our community. We have 2 communities, a free one, the Flip Flop Flipper, which I'll post the link there. And then Apex is our free or our paid community. And that's where we're doing the live event. If you still want to come to the live event, you can just buy a ticket. That's fine. But we'd love to see you there. We'll get to more information about that towards the end of the show. I see Taj is in the chat. I think she's the only person that's RSVP'd yes for the private dinner on that event as well.
I want to do this dinner. Because we could get a private chef. We can do it. I think we could do it at one of our properties up on the rooftop,
and it's
an ocean view.
It's limited.
And we will have
people.
It'll
be limited.
I mean, it's obviously we've only got one person signing up, so that's great. But we'll get to have one heck of a meal and talk about real estate and investing together, and so it'll be a lot of fun.
That's gonna be exciting.
This is where we're going to go. Also, I know we're going to talk about Apex later, but where we'll go with Apex, it's really about access and having these events. And so if you want to come and be a part of that, join Apex. I think you can come to the event. You can pay like $150 to come to the coffee and bus tour. Is that right, McKenna?
If you're not part of Apex.
But we'd rather you just join Apex, right?
It's cheaper, but we'll stop talking about that now, guys. If you start putting questions in the chat, we can get going. What are you guys working on this week, real estate wise?
We got a deal. Not a deal, sorry. Hopefully we might
have a contract. Maybe we sold something. Maybe we're going to make some money.
So I'm buying an apartment for myself and my family
with seller financing.
The best guy I know. But I gotta tell you something. These contractors down here are engineers. They should be put in NASA. Let me tell you what I found today. So For a couple months, there's been a roof leak, or at least we thought it was a roof leak. So the gypsum fell, everything you can imagine. Today I go with the contractor, say, hey, let's go find out what this is. We stick our head through the roof, and lo and behold, someone put a spigot with a copper pipe. So basically, you can attach a hose between the roof and the gypsum.
Inside the apartment? I thought you were saying it was on the roof.
No, inside the fucking apartment.
And it was running.
Yeah, when I opened the water.
When you turn the water. So that means whenever the water's been on, it's been running.
Yes.
For 3 years.
Yes.
It's been a leaky pipe.
Fucking awesome.
That's great.
Wow. Wonderful.
Engineering. These guys, we got to send them to NASA. You know, look, Boeing at least got them up there. Our guys will get them farther.
I can't believe you'd have us, like, who installs the spigot and says, this is what they want, this is what they need.
Look, logically, the way I thought about it is, look, at the moment when they were doing construction, they probably needed this to clean and needed a water source, whatever. Fine, I'll take it. But damn, cap it off.
I mean, turn it off. Done. Crying out loud.
No, the thing was broken.
Oh,
So,
wow.
So there we go. Good old Puerto Rican engineering.
We fixed a problem that's been puzzling us for 3 years.
It only took another Puerto Rican to go find it.
Wow.
You needed the Puerto Rican mind.
Ruben's asking, is it a sprinkler, like a fire suppression sprinkler?
No, this is a garden hose spigot.
This was a garden hose to spray off the rooftop, I guess. Must have been. Because why else?
It's not on the rooftop.
Well, it must have gone.
It's inside the apartment. What am I going to spray?
You think there was a fountain there or something before, like a waterfall thing? Like,
you guys put in all the plumbing. You tell me.
No.
All that plumbing's new.
Where is it?
Where is it?
What part of the apartment?
At the entrance, right?
You walk in the door.
Yeah, right there. That first big hole.
It used to be there was a stairway that went up to the roof there.
Yeah.
That we took out.
Uh-huh.
And I think there was a waterfall there. So it was like a stairway and a waterfall.
Outside upstairs.
No, into the apartment.
No. It's far away from the stairway.
Oh, well, and I don't know what it is. Hey, I'm just trying.
And it looks new.
Looks new.
It doesn't look as old as you think.
Probably they thought we needed it.
It's a new modern interior thing now. You can take showers in your living room.
All right,
we've replaced the drywall like 4 times.
Have you really?
Here comes the 5th.
Yeah.
So
where's this water coming from?
That was my day.
Man.
Guys, if you have more questions, or I could keep talking about, just beautiful engineering.
Bad renovations.
Hey, you guys that are doing deals, have you seen some pretty crazy engineering stuff? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to talk, get into questions. Problems
Exactly.
after the event. It's Saturday the 23rd this month. Sort of last minute. This is kind of our test run on how we're going to do events in the future.
Yeah, we realized that we were all going to be on the island for Thanksgiving, so we had McKenna fly in a little bit early so that we could do this. And this is something that we've been wanting to do for a while.
We've been talking about it.
Definitely will do other like less formal stuff where we won't do the bus tour. We'll just meet up and have lunch together or coffee or something like that.
Yeah.
So but this is our first go at a live meetup, at a live event. And it'll be a little bit more put together than just going to have coffee. So this is coffee in the morning, jump in the van. We'll drive around the metro area. We'll look at properties that have been finished. We'll look at stuff that's underway, under renovations, things that are almost done, things that are just starting. We'll show you probably some stuff that we've done in the past and stuff that we're planning to do in the future.
I'm excited.
And at every stop, we'll talk about, why we do these things.
Well, he's underselling it, guys. You're going to get to see a live bed and breakfast concept that's working right now and be able to see the difference between that and now what he has. It's how many floors is it? 8 floors?
Yeah, eight with the roof.
And you're turning that into long-term rentals.
I think we're going to do Act 182.
And by the time the bus tour comes around, you'll be done completely.
We're supposed to be done with by the
floor
20th. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 by the 25th or 26th. So we're going to be really close.
And then we'll show you some multifamily fix and flips, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a cool tour. And someone's asking if there's a preferred contractor we use. Icarus.
I like to use the one who will show up.
There you go. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Look, if the contractor gets there at the time you said he would get there, so hey, we're meeting at 8 and he's there at 8, you should hire that guy mostly over probably the guy that doesn't show up or shows up 2 hours later.
Yeah, and I'm not at all trying to be vague. Like if there was someone that I could just endorse and get behind, believe me, I would have them. I would be showcasing them on YouTube, and we do have a couple of guys that are go-to for us, but they don't go out to the general public and work for other people. We've generally got 5 to 10 renovations going on the island, and so we're constantly battling trying to find guys, and
yeah,
our 2 main contractors probably each keep, well, the one guy keeps 80 people employed, so 80 guys are working for our one guy every day of the year. And then Lewis, our main guy, he's probably got 25 people who work every single day of the year. And in order to do that, they go through bodies like you couldn't imagine. I know Lewis hires and fires 200 people every year.
Yeah. Well,
And
someone doesn't show up and you can't.
What's that?
When someone doesn't show up and you've got a crew of 25 people, 80 people, you can't mess around. You can't let the guy that's not showing up stay on your payroll. It just doesn't.
Yeah, they'll bring you down, right? They'll bring you down. I say this all the time. If you are a successful contractor in the States and you want to come to the island of Puerto Rico, you will be more popular here as a contractor if you show up on time and can do things in a timely manner and stay reasonably close to the budget
and do good work.
You're a freaking superstar.
Like attention to detail stuff.
I wasn't even going to go there.
Oh, I'm going there.
Do
work.
passable work, but show up on time, stay reasonably close to the budget. Rock star. That's a business that'll work.
Please record the coffee meeting and share some short videos for those
awesome
who want.
Yeah, we will. We'll do that for sure.
When is that next coffee meeting?
That's going to be on the 23rd, Adon. Come on.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ones you do.
No. Oh, that's true. We will have another coffee meetup this week. It's looking like it's going to be closer to Friday, and that's going to be no agenda. We just get on Zoom. We talk shop for an hour. But yeah,
you've done that twice now, right, McKenna?
We've done well. The first one had some technical difficulties. The second one went off great. And yeah, I do think that Ruben's asking about the coffee meetup though in person.
I thought he was talking about the bus tour.
Yeah. We do plan to record it. Yes.
Yeah, we'll
put it out there.
We'll have some content and some videos. We'll do walkthroughs.
We'll record it.
We will probably also ask for people who come to sit down and talk to us for 5 or 10 minutes. And
Ruben, we'll provide the FOMO. Don't worry. We'll get you for the next one.
Hey, good evening. Is it possible to drive for pennies at the island for properties in the range of $15,000 to $30,000 and then resell them to investors for a little profit? Pretty much wholesale.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. So I'm sorry I can't read the name because I can't see.
Aventuras Feliciano.
Aventuras. Absolutely. There are tons and tons of inexpensive properties on the island, and they're pretty evident, and you can find them. Central Casa Subasta is a great place to find things that you can find $15,000 to $30,000. Like every auction that they have for the last 4 or 5, 6 years, if we go, we generally buy something in that price range. And I don't remember ever going to one of their auctions where I didn't see multiple properties selling. These would be bank-owned properties that they would take to auction, and they would sell for $15,000 to $30,000.
You bought one last time for like $30,000.
The last auction I went to, I bought one for $35,000 in Carolina, which I need to sell. Dave was telling me today. Yeah, it's kind of, that's one bad thing with me buying cheap properties and us using our own money is that then we forget about them and nothing happens. I have put
Well,
some videos
Feliciano,
out there, but I'm gonna have to.
here's
beg
an
people to buy it
opportunity.
from me.
Here's an
Yeah,
opportunity to go see this house, take pictures, and wholesale it forward.
And if he bought it for 30,000, he'll probably sell it to you for 45.
No, so I think we've got. We looked at it today. We have 50 grand in it right now.
You have 50 grand in that place?
50 grand in it. Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if we really
How?
do, but that. Well, who knows? Because we've had it
Didn't
for a
even touch
year.
it.
And
You
we've
painted it.
we've tried to fix it a few times.
I've seen
We
this
bought
place.
it for 35. You
Makes
got
no
closing
sense.
costs.
Yep.
35 plus closing costs plus
That's 45 plus
renovation.
Yeah, and taxes probably.
We're definitely in it for 50 grand, man.
Well,
And I still think it needs 10 grand.
it needs more than that.
See?
But no, don't do it.
Icarus is asking, I've been considering new construction versus renovation. Is there a different calculation method for that? For me, I have a calculation on land values that I like to use. Now, I'm stateside, so I'm not sure if it's different in Puerto Rico, and maybe you guys can speak on this. But I like to purchase my land at 20% of the ARV of whatever the building is that I'm going to build. So if I'm building $1 million building, the most I can pay for a lot is $200,000. And now that also means that I need to be able to build that $1 million building for probably $500,000. And that would leave me enough range to make a nice profit. You can get into trouble with that if your building costs are way too expensive. A good builder in the States, if you can get $150 a foot, you're pretty happy about that. I see a lot of people are $175 these days or closer to $200. And if you're just hiring like a, DR Horton or someone to come in and build for you, they're going to charge you $200 to $250 a foot. Renovation, it's very particular on what you're renovating. How intensive is it? Are you opening up walls, doing new roofs? Are you doing these major renovations? So it's a bit trickier to price the renovations.
And what about speed?
I think that new construction these days might be just as fast or
Yeah,
faster.
I think the equation is basically the same, right? So you want to be all in at 70 cents on the dollar.
Yep.
So that's purchase of the land plus your build, 70 cents on the dollar, and you're going to make money.
Yeah.
If you can do the same thing on a renovation, purchase price plus your renovation costs, be all in at 70 cents on the dollar to what you're going to sell it for, you should make money. So I haven't done very much, almost no. I mean, we built one house years ago on a river for a family home. But other than that, we haven't done new construction really. But it is something that I'm interested in because it can be a lot less hands-on. Like you've got a group of guys that go out and they build the same house again and again and again. And if you can set that up well, and Jerry Norton talked about this, once you get some critical mass, then you can hire one guy to kind of manage all of your construction and save a bunch of money that way. So I like this business model of buy and fix and sell. But we've typically been value add. So we buy and renovate and sell or rent, but basically the math is the same. And I agree, McKenna, 20 cents on the dollar or 20% of your sales price for the land. I think in Puerto Rico, you'd probably even do better than that. So you could probably buy land at 10 cents on the dollar in Puerto Rico.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty compelling. Building might be more expensive in Puerto Rico.
Well, it's different
about
here.
the same. I think it costs about the same for your build costs.
Isn't it a little bit cheaper?
I've heard actually a little bit cheaper.
Wow.
No,
So-
over there.
Here.
Interesting.
I mean, we do poured concrete for everything.
Yeah.
I would think wood would be cheaper.
Your labor is cheaper still, even though it's quadrupled in price. It's still cheaper here than it is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you guys consider sharing ahead of time a tentative list of properties we might see at the coffee and bus tour?
Sure. Yeah, we can put that out. We could actually do a step better. We could put out a list of properties that we could see and let you guys vote on what we do see or put them in an order. So if we run out of time, we would not see the one that got the least votes.
I mean,
Yeah.
there is an order.
There is kind of a path, right?
609, Kaihor, Rio Piedra.
Yeah.
Back to coffee.
The McMansion. Maybe we go to Canovanas. Maybe we.
Damn, we're gonna.
I'd like
you were
to.
thinking it's a real bus tour.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's a 3 hours on the road.
3 hours.
These bus tours, guys, are no joke. We'll go all day.
These things are
show you
not-
properties until you beg us to pull over.
Please, please stop. I don't want to see real estate no more.
You're gonna be like Roberto Duran. No mas, Robert. No mas.
No
No
mas.
more, please. For God's sakes, quit. Let's go home. We're hungry.
I have to go to dinner, man. Thanksgiving's in 3 days. We're still gonna be here. We'll maybe make a little video list too. I don't know if you guys have time to do that, but that could be interesting where we get a little snapshot of what we can see.
Awesome.
I think we have videos of all of the properties or many of the properties that we could go to.
So maybe we'll find a good way to organize that and get it out to everyone. Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? I have a question. Any recommendations on the installation of mini splits? I will be in Puerto Rico from the 18th and I'm looking for 4 units to be installed. Any recommendations will be appreciated.
I think.
Are you looking for like a person to do them?
Yeah, the company to put them in.
Yeah. I got a guy.
Good. I was going to say I think Adon's got a guy.
I do got a guy.
Good.
You got a guy too, but it's probably my guy.
But I don't know who the guy is. You do?
I 100% know that. Send me a message. It says Facebook user. The live stream's having issue with Facebook today, so it's not showing people's names. But send me a direct message there, Alan Cebollero, and I'll send you the number. Or even better, join our free school community.
Yeah,
if you're not part of it,
school community
and send me a DM there.
There, it's easy.
Yeah.
That's the easiest place to get a hold of Adon.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to message Robert or Don, you just type their name into the search bar on school and it'll pop up and you can send them a DM.
McKenna, one thing I've been telling people in a couple of shorts that I've been putting out on YouTube recently is if you join the free school community, I'll open up some time on the calendar and I need to get with you and set up a calendar so that I'm not telling lies.
Okay.
Guys, it's not that he doesn't want to take your call. He's just technically challenged.
Yeah. And someone like joined the free school community immediately, like within minutes, and it's been 2 days now and I still don't have that calendar up, so I need help.
Okay, we can get that done tomorrow and have that up and running. Should be pretty easy. It was Angel asking about the AC installers.
All right, just send me a message, Angel. You got my number. I'll send you the guy.
All right. Let me go back. I got to scroll up here.
I think we were at Taj.
Taj, what's your take on bed and breakfast route / concept versus just the standard short-term rental for a smaller unit like 4 beds?
Well, so I love this bed and breakfast strategy. We've done it one time, and I would call it a really, really good success. So we bought a place in Miramar, which is a kind of higher end area, and it's walking distance to the great restaurants, and it's
why did you choose
10 minutes to the beach? Why did I choose to buy this house? What was your strategy
behind?
Oh,
no.
Or what?
That's a good story too. But what's the strategy behind making the
bed and breakfast? And why'd we go bed and breakfast? That's the question here. Is because we couldn't do it as a guest house. It had enough rooms to do a guest house. Like we could have done a 7-room guest house and gone through Act 60, done the tourism tax credits. However, we didn't have the correct zoning. So when we invited the tourism company out there to look at the property, they were looking at the zoning, and they are always very helpful. So you guys, if you want to invest with Act 60 and get the tax credits, you want to invite them to come out to your property while you're under contract so that you'll be eligible for the 40% on your purchase. Anyways, when we invited them out to our property, they said, hey, it doesn't look like you have the right zoning to do a guest house, but this will also work for you, this bed and breakfast. And it's worked really well. So we went live. We've been live for about a year. We're bringing in about $35,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, I think, a net revenue of somewhere in between $25,000 and $30,000 a month for the first year, which was phenomenal. Our all-in investment on that is like 1.2 million. So you guys can do that math. Let's say it's $25,000 a month. That's $300,000 a year on a $1.2 million investment. That's pretty damn good return. Let's see what that is. What is that? Somebody tell me. Third grade math?
Did you calculate in your tax credits or no?
No tax credits calculated in that.
That is sweet. I'll let you do that math and we'll move on. Pop us back in when you're ready. Can I just go to an auction, or is there a specific person? And
25% returns, guys. Cash on cash, 25% returns. We do have some debt, so we don't really do that well. But if we were cash on cash, that'd be 25% returns, and
really good.
We're eligible for 40% tax credits.
Yeah.
For the auction, it depends what type of auction you're going to. If you're going to a municipal auction, that's in every municipality here on the island. You can pull the list from Edictos y Subastas, know when to go. If you're talking about a private auction, you just gotta keep in mind when they mention them or list them, and just go.
Yeah, but anybody can go. If you're going to go to the foreclosure sale at the courthouse, wear long pants, dress the part. They won't let you in shorts. I showed up in shorts. Now, they probably didn't want to let me in anyway, because the time before I had filmed them and they got pissed off at me.
He got me in trouble.
They weren't letting me in. They were doing me no favors, but I showed up in shorts and they didn't let me in.
And guys, all the municipal auctions are open to the public. As long as there's people there to bid, you can go in as an observer. Just tell the sheriff when you're there, hey, I just want to observe and see the process, and they'll let you.
Assuming they have room, they'll let you in the room.
Well, no, it's not. As long as there's people bidding, they'll let you.
Oh.
It's not, if there's nobody bidding, no one going to auction, then there's no proceedings to show you how to do.
Okay, got it.
Only when you and I go is there 30 people there.
You bring your own crowd.
Yeah.
This is the guy that asked us about the auction, or the $15,000 to $30,000 properties. I got the owner of the company I work for willing to be the hard money lender. What other ideas besides making quick flips could I use this money for?
To lend it out and make money on that money.
Yeah, and make that spread.
Well, why not? Depending on how much money he'll lend you, will he only lend you the purchase price? Will he lend you the purchase price plus some money to renovate the property? Why not do the whole value add real estate investing and make the lion's share of the money rather than just do the wholesale deal? And especially if you're talking about buying $30,000 homes, you're not going to make a ton of money on a wholesale deal there, right? Like, so if you buy assuming you're buying a $30,000 home and you've got to do a renovation and that house is going to sell for $100,000 or so, you don't have a ton of spread. There's not a whole bunch of room in there.
Well, I'm going to say this, Feliciano. We have a current deal in Villa Carolina that if you're interested in, we can show it to you. It is a possible wholesale deal. It's a possible full-on flip. If you DM us over at school on the free account, Flip Flop Flipper, we can share more information with you and see where to go there.
I've got a couple videos out on that home too, and they always get good response, and then I never follow up. So
yeah,
I don't know why these people won't just buy the home without me actually engaging. Why do I have to do so much work, like return phone calls and stuff?
Yeah, one of those videos is the one he almost got me banned from the foreclosure sales.
All right.
Next one there.
Sorry, I just realized that somebody booked a call with me right now during this call. So
I'll bring it here. Bring it live. We'll do the call here.
Should I pull Jose on?
Of course, why not? Looking to finance two renovations.
Why don't you mute McKenna, take your call, and then come back when you're done?
Will do.
Looking to finance two renovations and an acquisition. Who do you guys recommend looking to raise around 1.2?
Yeah, so how much?
1.2.
Oof.
Ackerson, but they're expensive, really expensive.
You're gonna have to tell us more, DJ, about your deals. Like, what's your purchase price? What's your renovation? What's the end use value, or what's the end use and what's the value once you're done? I have a company in mind that I've borrowed from a couple of times. They will lend people on deals as small as $1 million, but you're right there, like if you're doing 2 deals and it's totaling 1.2 million, then they won't work because they're just going to say the deal's not big enough. And I have to stress this, that if I give you the name and you use them, they're hard money lenders. Like, it's expensive, and they're
sharks.
They're hard money lenders, just like the word says, right? Like, we've borrowed from them a couple of times, and I'm going to continue to use them because they're really one of the only games in town. But they're sharks, like Adon said. So they get, what I'm going to say is they get paid, right? Like, they're making their money. Yeah. But we made $1 million on the first deal that we did with them. And now we've got another one that we're about to go to market on that we're going to have about 6 million in, and we're going to be asking 10 or 11.
This is what I noticed about those big fish, you know. It really makes the real estate investor really honest and try to work as fast as possible.
Oh man,
it keeps you in.
They light
place.
a fire under you, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they light a fire under you because it gets expensive if you don't perform.
Yeah.
They'll take your deal.
But again, you know, I mean, the first one we did, we borrowed 1.2 million from them. We sold it for 2.8 million. We made more than $1 million. This one that we've currently got with them, we're almost finished, and it'll be one of the ones on the bus tour. We're going to take it to market at 10 or 11 million right now. And
nice.
I think we're going to definitely have less than 6.5 million in it. I think we have less than 6 million in it. And that's pretty good, even though their money is really expensive. We've got a $10 million building because they gave us the money, you know.
You guys doing 183, 182 on that one?
We'd like to, possibly, yeah.
Nice. So there you go, DJ Pax. Send us a message on school.
Yep. Here's the link. It's in the chat here. Just join. Send us a free DM, or the account's free. Send us a DM. DM is also free.
Yeah, and the same thing. So McKenna's going to set up a calendar with some times for me for next week. So join us over there on the free account tonight, and then tomorrow look in for Robbie Krager's calendar, and you can set a strategy call up with me. That's my November offer.
I like it.
Next week is going to be a tough week.
Next week is the week that I'm trying to set up for the calls, because I'm taking calls next week.
Next week is all calls.
All calls. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of Robert, next week's the week to do it. He's taking calls.
I've set aside the whole week to talk to people and do these strategy calls. So hopefully I can fill the calendar up.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Is this bus tour just the San Juan area, or how far from the metro will we go?
It's the metro area. We probably will go as far as Canovanas.
To the Green Monster?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll go as far as like Luquillo.
No, hell no. You don't got nothing down there anymore.
Yeah,
what are you going to point at it and keep driving?
We know the owners. We sold it to them.
No.
I love that place.
There's such a better hotel to show them.
That was the other thing. I think we could probably show them. We'll show them our stuff, but we could also show them JC's place too.
Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah. So yeah, I think Alan, it's going to be a stroll around the metro.
Yeah, guys, we've done these bus tours where they take you literally 2 hours the other direction.
Yeah. And
they can get very miserable. So we're trying to keep it as, you know, educational, short, and fun for everybody. Because
I will tell you, we'll see all different kinds of real estate.
Yep.
And if you come on the tour, you'll see flips, you'll see long-term rentals, you'll see hotels, you'll see mixed use, and kind of things that are in progress, things that are finishing up, or things that are
on market,
just starting and on market. All of that. By the end of the bus tour, you probably have a good idea of what you like about the island and what you don't like.
It's going to be fun. I like this next question that's coming up. Hi, Robert. I sent you a message on Gmail address. Let me tell you guys something. If you send Robert anything through email, it dies. You'll never see it. His phone, you know, it's just never going to show up on his phone. So if you want to get a hold of Robert, you go straight to school and send them a DM. It's the only way. I send them emails, and he's like, "You sent me an email? Haven't you learned? Do you like torturing yourself?" Apparently.
McKenna set up a new email for me. Even
another one.
I got another email that I won't answer.
Yeah.
I don't mean to not answer them, guys, but I'm in 10,000 WhatsApp groups. I'm in another 10,000 Facebook groups. I'm in
300,000
5 or 6 different emails that are my emails that I think I get 1,000 emails a day. And most of the time I just delete, unsubscribe, delete.
Yeah.
But literally today, I think Alan, who's been asking questions, has been asking me, did you see the email? And I did find his email. Davin Michaels has been asking me today, hey, Robert, did you see the email? And I'm like,
that's the only way he's going to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you send the email and follow it up with a couple of texts, I'll try and find the email.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, and that's just how life is, guys. If you want good, clean communication, you got to go in school. What about more subjects in Apex, contractors, events, etc.? I'm not sure what you mean, Alan. Do you guys understand?
Are you talking about the bus tour or it's just inside the course? We do plan on doing much more.
Yeah, so some of the ideas for upcoming masterminds, which are inside of Apex, and I'm guessing that Alan is asking about that. We will have at least probably one of our favorite GCs to come in and talk about the renovation process on the island of Puerto Rico, getting permits and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We do also plan to have our favorite engineer come in again, talk about what the code is for the island. How do you build things? How do you get permits and that kind of stuff? We have a meeting coming up next week with Gustavo, who is launching a website that will help everybody walk through all parts of Act 60. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. So we've got a whole bunch of other topics
coming up for this
month's
masterclass.
I don't know if it'll be this month or some of them will be, but I don't know. We don't have this whole month figured up yet.
See, we're
and then what are you guys going to do when I'm gone in December?
I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna have a month of master classes without me while I leave.
Yeah, we'll have to go find the best guests we can to replace you.
You're gonna call us from Dubai. That's what you're gonna do. you can't miss. It's the internet. You're gonna come in.
Not only will he call us from Dubai, guys, he's gonna call us from Dubai and tell us he just bought a skyscraper.
That's gonna be awesome.
That would be nice.
It's gonna be sweet.
I do know in Dubai, Garrett signed me up. I'm going on a desert camel tour.
Oh no!
With a buffet and
is there a tall enough camel for you?
Camels are pretty tall. You ever seen them? I've never ridden one, but yeah, they're tall enough. I think.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I don't think with a camel my feet aren't going to be dragging.
They're not gonna be.
It's not like riding the pony at the fair, where we got 6 legs and we can walk together.
All right, guys. Pablo's asking, can you help me get on a roadmap on what you guys would do in my position to get to $100,000 next year in profit? Or we can talk about it on the call, Robert, also to catch up on investing with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a strategy call, right? So we need to have a conversation, Pablo, and I need to hear your goals. I love $100,000 a year. I'd encourage you to be able to answer some questions about what type of real estate investing are you looking to do, whether that's value add or wholesaling. Where are you investing? What kind of money are you starting with in order to do it? Are you getting in without any cash whatsoever? Are you going to be a wholesaler? All of these things are kind of questions that maybe we can talk about on a strategy call, and you can book that with me. So McKenna is going to open up some spots tomorrow. You'll see it there inside of school.
What's the next one, McKenna?
Absolutely.
And it's a great idea, Pablo. Just before the call, take your goal of 100,000 and just before we even get on the call, let's double it. Because why go for 100,000 when we could go for 300,000?
Yes.
Let's triple it then. Okay. There you go.
Hey guys, and if you wouldn't mind giving us a like, smashing that like button, hit the share button, send it to someone that you think would be interested in talking about real estate, and we'll move on to the next questions. When do you need permits in Puerto Rico? Do you need one for light renovations?
Oh yeah,
go ahead, Adon.
Sorry. There's something called like an exempt permit. So anything that's interior stuff, like you're gonna change doors and floors and kitchens and bathrooms, there are permits for that. I would probably get the permit if you're inside a community or inside of like a HOA community or something like that. But if it's something like you're changing out a door and a window, I don't think you need a permit. It's when you're doing those big rehabs. What's your take?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, it's going to cost you money. It's just to cost you money and time to wait for the permit.
Yeah, I think the time's the big one on the permits.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
So where are we talking about doing this? Are we in New York State where if
I'm pretty sure it's here.
where you don't have a permit, they're going to shut your job down and they're going to board up the doors and
Says
make life miserable? Huh? Here. Yeah. So if you're doing a renovation on a single family house off in a neighborhood somewhere, I would say 90% of the time you can just permit yourself to work and go do those renovations.
It's a permit. I permit myself
to work. Yeah. I've said that for years. We like to permit ourselves to work.
Yeah.
And go do it. Now, if you're in downtown Condado or you're in Old San Juan and you're doing some major repairs, then you definitely have to jump through the hoops. And 7 years ago when we came to the island, you could probably get away with it. You cannot do that anymore. You will not get away with it. So we get permits on anything that's a major renovation, and we still permit ourselves to work on the small stuff, like single family houses or an apartment, a one-off condo somewhere. We're probably just going to do the work.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're going to get the permit, start the work. And by the time you're getting the permit, you're probably done.
That's not bad too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you're doing a job like that and they come and they say, hey, you don't have a permit, then you may get a fine. But as long as you have made application for the permit, it won't be much more than that. And so oftentimes a $500 or $1,000 fine is well worth it if it's going to save you 3 or 4 or 5 months, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Alan's asking for categories in Apex to differentiate posts. That makes sense. Definitely something we can work on, Alan. Ruben.
What we go back to Alan's question. I'm liking the idea of our group categorizing themselves, so kind of self-identifying. Is that what Alan's talking about, or is he talking about specific subject matters that we're going to discuss? Or both?
So you know how in the community you have general discussion and you can make different panels.
Yes,
that's what he's talking about. So if we're talking about contractors,
got it.
If you're talking about this, blah blah.
All right, so we can put up some categories where we can start making posts about,
and it'll probably make it easier for everybody to find specifically on that topic conversation that they're trying to get.
The other thing, guys, that I'd like to do inside of Apex is, and I've said this from day one, we are obviously trying to bring our Rolodex to Apex. And so I'd like to have everybody be able to bring their Rolodex, and we could build a spreadsheet of people who have been good, right? Like, so you find a good realtor.
Yeah.
One, invite them to the group, but two, we could put them inside of a Rolodex, or a good closing agent, or a good lender, whatever that is, a good contractor.
Nice. I like it.
Will you guys provide a demo for Red Atlas on this channel? I understand it will be available in Apex.
Yeah, that's the idea. We're gonna have the Red Atlas team come in and give us a demo.
Yep.
Adon can certainly give a demo. He's used it, but we're still expecting that we're probably going to get someone from their team to come and give us a demo as well.
Yes, we're negotiating that currently.
He called me today, by the way.
Andres or
no,
Henry.
What do you guys think the timeline on deploying Red Atlas is? Sometime this month, or
we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, so I think it's hopefully sometime this month. We were it's like everything else in Puerto Rico. We wanted it to be November 1st, but that day just barely came and went. So now we're still in that November window.
Well, we're
Hopefully.
still in the November 1st window.
Yes, yes, we're in that window.
And we'll get you guys a launch date as soon as we have it. We'll get the demo up, and we'll figure out how to onboard you and get everybody set up.
That I did put a survey out there in Apex, and I think I had 15 or 16 people say that they were interested in it, and that was the first step. So I need to report that back to them, and then we'll go from there.
Yes.
Yep. Isn't it said it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission? Going about the permits.
I completely believe in most cases it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yep. Hey guys,
or just completely get it done and never ask either.
Yeah.
It's just done.
Just don't get caught. I've been red tagged on a couple of properties up here in Florida, guys, and it is a bummer. Once you have to go through that permit process and you get caught, it becomes very difficult. Now I'm doing complete gut jobs and ripping out everything, so it's a pretty extensive process.
Did you finish your 24th or 25th Street house?
Yeah, I'm waiting on an engineer plan update, and the neighborhood just came in and cut up all my pipes. So
what?
They came in.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We're taking this copper.
Yeah. They didn't even take it. They just cut a bunch of it in half. They just snipped it. And no idea. Fucking
did your dog take a dump on their lawn? What did he do?
Wow.
I have no idea. Stole some tools from my contractor, but that's kind of on him for leaving the tools in that area.
Handyman special neighborhoods.
Yep. Probably they were testing out the tools. Clip.
Like if I'm gonna steal them, might as well know if they work or not.
Yeah, you got to see if they're.
Does this hammer work? Break a window. Yep.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Have you guys had many break-ins and vandalisms while you're doing this?
I mean,
actually, someone
over the years, it's constant, right? Like contractors should know this, but if they leave their tools in a construction site right in the living room and it's visible, then they're going to smash our door down. They're going to steal the contractor's tools. Everybody loses. But that's a lesson that we continue to learn over and over again, no matter how many times we tell the contractors and no matter how many times it happens to the contractors. Nobody ever learns.
Someone stole my drill when I was putting up the numbers for Santa Rita.
Yeah.
I left it. I don't know where I left it. Must have been somewhere obviously visible. I walked to his back. When I come back to the front,
gone.
I was like, did I put it in the truck? Flipped the truck, flipped everything. I was like, all right.
Have I told you the story of my first renovation when I was not a handy person? So I was outside cutting a tree down with a chainsaw running. Yeah. And at my feet, I had a weed eater and a lawnmower. Like literally, I'm here cutting a branch. Just here is the lawnmower and the weed eater. And they came and took the lawnmower and the weed eater out from underneath me while I had the freaking chainsaw working, and I never saw it. So, but just think about how brazen you have to be. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy.
Those hood ninjas,
if I turn around with the chainsaw, you're in trouble. But they got it.
Well, they have a weed eater. They can fight you at that point.
They're like, look.
Yeah, but the chainsaw was on. The weed eater wasn't.
They're like, look, I'm 4 foot. This guy's not going to see me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, guys, put in your final questions. We've got about 10 minutes left. If you don't have any other questions, we can keep talking about getting robbed or anything else. But,
common sense goes a long way, though, right? Like
it does.
Lock the tools up in a place that's not highly visible, or really better yet, just take that shit with you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And don't leave it there. So then the house doesn't get broken into and there's nothing to steal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you found out any more information about 182?
I haven't found any new information about 182. Other than, what we've talked about recently, we know that it's urban areas and that the map that you had is the right map.
Yeah.
I think it would be a really cool thing for us to go and take that map and do a video and show some areas in different
we could do Rio Piedras
municipalities. We could do Rio Piedras.
Got a couple there.
We could do a video and show people.
Now talking about that, couldn't your 12 unit count?
Yeah, the 12 unit would have counted, but we did it way before. It's already done.
But aren't
It
you
won't
selling
count
it now?
No, it won't count now because it already is long term. If it was vacant and had been vacant,
Mm-hmm.
then it would have counted.
So
Yeah.
what about the 9 unit?
The 9 unit would have counted. Yeah.
You should tell
Man.
that guy that made the offer. Like, you're losing out.
He'd have to buy them both, and
So
it would still count. The 9 unit would count because you've got more than 80% of the work not done.
yeah.
All right. Ivan Torres just signed up for school. Send us a message. Send it to Robert, and he can keep talking to you about that property.
Send it to me.
Don.
Send it to me. Don't send it to him.
Send it
He
to
has
me
the
too.
best intentions in the
Well,
world.
send it to me too,
But
because
send it
I'd
to
like
me.
to talk to you about the property.
Yeah.
And Adon can help you with like giving you a pin to get to the property.
I'll send you the pin. I punish Robert every time he asks me for a pin.
Yes.
I send him old people memes. He's like, "Oh, you want a pin? Here you go. Here's an old people meme."
I love it.
I have gotten much better about it though. Those old people memes, they don't
They
offend me
motivate you.
anymore. So I just keep
No,
asking.
they motivate you. He asked me now, "Hey, how do I save this pin?
That's true.
How do I make sure I don't have to text you about it?"
What do we got here?
Angel saying, here's a good one. One time I put all my tools away in the back of my truck, lawnmower and everything. When I got to the job site, I went inside the house and never looked back out of my truck.
And
I
they
went
took 'em
inside
right
the house
out of your
and never
truck.
looked in the back of my truck. And
Yep.
they just take it right out of there.
Here's a bad one for you. The other day, Saturday, I went to Camoy to get coffee, and I parked my car on the Pueblo, and then I walked over to the coffee shop a few blocks away. Had coffee. It was an hour or so later. It was raining, and I walked back to where I thought I left the car, and it wasn't there.
They stole Linda's car?
I walked all the way around, like for 3 blocks. I'm like, well, maybe I left it here. Maybe I left it there.
In the rain.
In the freaking rain. The car was exactly where I first saw it. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just not that smart.
That blood sugar of yours was low?
And I was literally picking up the phone to call Linda and say, Linda, come get me. Either they stole the car or I can't find the car. And I'm like, well, let me just go look one more time right where I think I left the car. And there was the car. So sometimes they don't even steal it. They just get lost, right?
That would have been a great call. They stole the car. Okay, you can walk home then. So you learn to never leave the car there again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was almost convinced that the car had been stolen. But I was still like 50-50 that I just lost it.
You just needed your steps for the day. You're like,
I did. I was getting madder and madder. You know, I'm walking around for like 30 minutes in the rain. Son of a gun, there's this car.
Damn it.
Miguel is asking, it would be good if you post on Apex deals of the week, a list of properties you have for sale.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Yep.
Consider it done.
Yep.
Yeah. You haven't ever posted. I've posted.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah. So you can start too.
Now you guys just got to figure out who can gather the list. That's the hard part.
I've been trying to gather a list from your dad for 2 years.
And then he just surprises you with something
He's
else.
like, I got it. Just go ask Dave.
You know what's fun about providing these lists, though, and it's just like me losing the car, I lose houses too. Like this is a real thing, especially like the house we've talked about a couple times here tonight up in the hills of Carolina. Like, I know we've got it. I haven't really lost it, but I don't think about it, and so it just sits there and nothing happens with it. I'm a very motivated seller on that. Like I would do seller financing. I would do anything, partner with anybody. I mean, there's almost nothing that wouldn't be a better use than what I'm currently doing with it, which is absolutely nothing.
That's not good. Is there anybody on the West Coast from November 21st to the 27th looking at properties? We will be there.
We're going to be on the West Coast right before that.
19th through the 22nd.
18th through the 22nd. Yeah.
18th through the 22nd.
So maybe the 21st or the 22nd. Are there some properties that you're wanting to look at? And
Unfortunately, you won't be able to go.
and we could possibly sneak away for an hour.
No.
We're sequestering ourselves.
We're trying to isolate ourselves to get these calls done.
But maybe after the coffee bus tour, we could go.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Oh yeah, is he going to be here through how long?
Yeah, through the 27th.
27th. Oh yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
after the bus tour, definitely we'll be back on the West Coast, and I'd love to go look at. So
West
I don't
Coast
think I
views.
have a lot of properties to show people on the West Coast, but I'm highly interested in looking at properties on the West Coast.
West Coast views, send us a message on school so that way we can plan with you.
Yep. Angel's asking, do you recommend someone moving to the island to apply for an Investor Act 60? Is it worth the $15,000 every year? It wholly depends on your income, how you make your money, and what your tax situation looks like. It's certainly worth it if you can save $20,000 in taxes a year.
Yeah, like
Listen,
if you're a day trader or something like that.
If you day trade, if you invest in the blockchain, if you're about to sell a business in the next few years and you can get here well in advance of that, then you could save tons and tons of money on capital gains taxes, and absolutely it could be worth it. It could also not be worth it, right? Like, so I think that there are, if you're not a high net worth earner, like if you're not making a few $100,000 a year,
I say more.
it's probably right? Like, so it's not just the startup cost, but you have to also
Donate every
give
year.
money every year to a charity, a local charity. So I think it's like $10,000 a year per person. So if you come with your wife and you each get it, it's $20,000 a year plus the initial cost that you incur to set it up. So
yep. Hey everybody, if you could hit the like button, send this to a friend that you think's interested in real estate, really helps us out. Alan's asking, where can I learn about this property Robbie is forgetting to do something with? Is it on Apex? It's not right now,
but it will be.
It will.
Yeah,
be.
we'll put the list of stuff that we've got for sale.
Yep.
We could go look at it on the bus tour maybe too.
Yeah, it's going down that way.
Yeah, it's along the path.
Yeah.
It's not much to look at. I mean, guys, it's a $35,000 house that I bought at a auction. That day at the auction, I sold a couple houses and I bought one. And really, I bought it just because I can't help myself, not because I needed
What
it.
a deal!
Like, oh, Carolina, I know Carolina. I've been there.
I don't want to, but I
Buying
need it. Yes.
And Dave was like, Robbie, really? We don't need another $35,000 house. He was right. We didn't need it.
He's like, but we didn't have this one.
We did not have this one.
That's right. You can have one in every color. West Coast Views is in the same towns as you, looking to partner.
Yeah, we are too. West Coast Views. I want to do deals on the west side of the island starting in 2025. So I'm going to come back to the island with a willingness to be partnering with people on the west side of the island in February. Let's call it February.
Get the Saudis Sovereign Wealth Fund to partner with you.
I'm going to go to Dubai. I'm going
like
to pick
that.
up a little bit of money. I'll come back with pockets full of oil money.
What color's your Bugatti?
What's that?
What color's your Bugatti? You're gonna go over there?
Yeah.
You'll have to start dressing in the Arab fashion.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
It'll be
great.
good. Alan's saying it's 5K in year 0, and it starts being 15K in year 2 when you get the decree. So you have 2 years to decide to limit your losses to $5,000 if it's not worth it to you, and then you're locked in, which is nice. Taj is asking, do you typically add private home insurance to your properties, short-term, long-term?
Yeah. So I've answered this question quite a bit, Taj. The answer for us has been no. Generally speaking, on moderately priced houses. So what is that? That for us looked like $100,000 to $250,000 homes that we were buying to sell in Florida for many, many years. We would just self-insure. Self-insurance for us meant that we didn't have insurance and that we paid for the problems if the pipes burst, if there was a fire, if a hurricane came, whatever it was, we would just that's when we would just spend the money to fix the houses that got affected. Now we're in Puerto Rico, same kind of thing. If we're investing in something, if you've seen the way they build things on the island, they're pretty damn indestructible. So if it's a small dollar amount, we don't usually go crazy with insurance. If it's a high dollar amount, or if we borrow money, or if we partner with somebody who really cares a whole bunch about having insurance, then we have insurance. I just had 2 hurricanes come through Florida this what, a month ago, was it, McKenna?
Yeah,
About a month ago. We've got probably $35,000 to $50,000 worth of damage across a handful of houses in multiple counties. Our rental portfolio in Florida is still about 50 doors or so. So just say that costs $2,000 a house times 50. It's $100,000 a year. This year I saved 50 grand. Last year, no hurricane came and hurt anything I did. So I saved 100 grand. I don't have to save 100 grand a whole bunch of years in order for it to really pay off in spades for me to not have that insurance. Now, we do like to have a blanket liability policy in case something tragic happens. And we do also do other things to protect ourselves, like not own a whole bunch of houses in our own name, and, you know, have in Florida, we like to keep land trust for each property so that each trust owns one property. If something bad happens on a property, that's the only asset of the trust. Those kind of things that we do to protect ourselves in case there's ever a lawsuit or something like that.
Cool.
But homeowners insurance doesn't help you very much, I don't think, with a lawsuit anyway. So
I could take. How long does it take to like between getting a claim and getting the money and
on the times that we've made the claims, they're, you know, they're not quick, but they're not slow either. We had
that's in Florida.
A few years ago, we had a house that did catch fire. We had a loan on it, so we were insured, and I think they offered us 20 grand at first. We hired an independent guy to come out and help us. We ended up getting 80,000 or something, or 100,000. Took less than 6 months to get everything, and then we took the money and sold the house, and that was it.
Still,
do you guys rent to Section 8 applicants? And if you don't, what is the reason for it?
We do rent to Section 8 applicants, and I will tell you that I've had both. Some of my very best tenants ever have been Section 8 tenants, and a couple of my really, really worst tenants ever have been Section 8 tenants. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but we've done over the years, I would say, a lot of Section 8 rentals. Yeah. When we came to the island of Puerto Rico, we knew we wanted to have long-term rentals, and we really didn't understand the rental process. We didn't speak the language. We didn't know what it would take to evict people. So we went very heavily into Plan Ocho. And I would say there was the first few years we were renting probably like 85 or 90% of our doors were rented to Section 8 families. And at the time, Plan 8 actually paid more than the market rents. Then the market rents kind of passed Plan 8, and so we went more heavily with that. And now it's caught back up again. So I like Section 8 a lot. You get paid. It was great during COVID to know that we, you know, half of our rental doors were Section 8, and we were going to get a check from the United States government. That was pretty secure. That felt good.
That's awesome.
And then last question, guys, or if you want to put your last questions in chat, but we are going over time here a little bit. Miguel's asking, do you have liability insurance on long-term rentals in Puerto Rico? If so, who do you recommend?
No.
We have a liability policy. I don't know who we got it through. Dave McCallie knows.
For which property? For San Ignacio?
No, for liability. Rincon, we have liability. We had liability on the Looking Glass, on the Surfing Turtle, I think.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we have liability policy right now on the Miramar bed and breakfast.
If I'm remembering correctly, those were both through Lloyd's of London. Those policies.
Yeah, but I don't know who the agent was. I think. Yeah,
but we can ask, and if you DM us, we'll send you the contact.
Yep. But if you have a large hotel project in Puerto Rico or something like that, Lloyd's is probably your only insurer, and you can reach out to them directly. How do you deal with tenants' noise disturbance at night, fighting? Is police helpful in Puerto Rico? For me, I do not get involved with that at all. I don't think that it's my business to be policing my tenants. If they want to be loud at night and the neighbors don't want them to be, they need to handle that themselves. It's
100% agree. And the
Yeah.
only thing that I would say that would ever change that is if I was living in the property that I was renting and the loud tenants were there,
Yeah.
then I'd go knock on the door and let them know they need to shut up or I'm not going to renew their lease.
Issue a 3-day vacancy. What do you call it?
Yeah. You know, if the neighbor comes and says, hey, can you turn down the music? My wife's trying to sleep. That's maybe not effective as the landlord saying, hey, if you don't turn down the music when your lease is up, you're out.
Yeah.
Pa fuera.
I also think if you call the police on your tenants, it sours the relationship.
Guys, I
They'll destroy the
would
property.
caution calling the police. Like I
Yeah.
don't call the police on people. If I call the police, somebody's really had a tragic accident or about to die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what good comes from
Or you got
calling the
squatter.
police. You have to really have a bad
squatters.
time to call the police.
Squatters.
I had squatters the other day after one of these hurricanes. The guy showed up, was trying to get into my house. The neighbor called me, said, hey, there's a guy here with a suitcase trying to open up your windows. And the police here in Orange County, Florida, they beat me there to the property. Within 5 minutes, they were there. They stopped the guy. They moved him along. So that is a situation I'd call the police. But once you're renting to someone, disputes should be settled.
You know,
In-house.
Florida, McKenna, has solved the squatter problem.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
And if there are a couple things that the rest of the country should do is look to Florida on how you frickin' count the votes after an election and how you handle squatters. Those two things our state does really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, even in my short career as an investor, I've been doing this 5 years now, something like that. When I first started doing rentals, if I had a squatter, the police were slow to arrive. It was kind of a process. They'd have to come multiple times. And now they just show up and the people are gone. It is amazing and so valuable because the squatter staying in the property or not being kicked out, they damage things. They're cutting wires. I had people that were pooping in my bathroom with no water. Like it's disgusting. So you have to move them along quickly. And in states where it takes 3 weeks, the damages must just get absolutely absurd.
3 weeks. I mean, there are some states, I think California and New York, it's like you go away for a long weekend and they move into your house and then you're just out.
Yep. I saw a great YouTube video and it's a real estate agent for squatters.
Yeah.
He keeps track of people when they're going on vacation and he's like checking all doors, seeing if he can get you in somewhere.
Yeah. I've seen it too. It's funny.
It was good. Angel's asking, are squatters a normal thing in Puerto Rico?
Not so for whatever reason, we haven't seen them. And there are so many vacant properties. I'm surprised they're not more of a problem.
You do see them so they won't break into, for example, like a property like one of yours that are like fixed up and nice. You see them more in places that are just about to fall down.
Yeah.
That's where usually you see squatters. I never seen, it's not that it's not uncommon, but someone breaking into a nicer house just to sit there.
And now that I think about it, when we were living in Santurce for the last couple of years, there was an area where the heroin addicts all stayed in a couple of the vacant buildings. And I mean, these places are not nice.
They're charging parking now.
I know, at least, and they're cleaning up the area.
They're not cleaning up shit.
But yeah, so it hasn't been a super big problem for us. I mean, we've had some things that have been vacant for a while. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've had way more squatters in Florida than I've heard of I can't think of a single time in Puerto Rico that we've had someone break in.
It's not that common.
I
or
think
at least
at our,
now
I
it's
think
not.
at our 11-unit building, the last time I was there, it looked like someone was living in one of the apartments upstairs. And
Which one?
where the bodega is down. We'll put it on the coffee tour. We'll definitely have it on the coffee tour because that's an Act 182 building.
We'll make sure that it's empty.
and it's already got a tenant who's not paying rent.
That's right. It's a learning process. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming. If you want to come to our in-person meetup on Saturday the 23rd, I'm going to drop the link for the sign-up sheet here. It's going to be in Apex. It's going to be in the free group. So be on the lookout for the link. We'd love to see you. It's going to be a coffee tour. It's going to be a coffee stop plus bus tour of a couple different properties. We're going to do a morning meetup this Friday. We are still working on a guest for this Thursday, but we'll have our regular Thursday masterclass this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And any other announcements, guys?
Stay tuned for the Eventbrite link for these events, so that way we can get those out and get an actual number of how many people are coming. And we need that number because we need to know how many vans we have to rent.
Yeah, so we'll rent a 15-passenger van or 2 or 3. However many it takes.
Yeah. If it's 3, I guess we should rent the.
If it's 3, we'll rent the big Greyhound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you sign up on this sheet that I just put here, I'm going to reach out to you personally with that link when it's up and running. Make sure you get signed up correctly. But this is just our stopgap for now.
And if you guys are on the island of Puerto Rico already, and you want to come to this event, and you want to invite some friends, invite your friends, get them to come in and join us inside of Apex. We would love to have you guys come. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll learn a lot together. And probably the most valuable thing is that we'll get to know each other better, right? Like doing this question and answer thing is great, but actually getting to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and we'll get lunch along the way. And we are still thinking that we could do that expensive dinner. If anybody's up for an expensive dinner, I'd love to have enough people that would want to come to the expensive dinner that we do it.
Yeah. It's just it's a networking event. We're trying to do a closed door networking event, trying to make it more one-to-one.
Yeah.
Compared
and
to
Don's got a private chef that he's worked with for years, and supposedly he's amazing. And
really good.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward. I want to do it.
15 pounds working with that guy.
Nice. You guys, this was awesome. Thanks for getting the great questions in here and showing up every week. I looked earlier, I went on and I saw 19 likes and there were like 11 people watching, which I've never seen that before. That was amazing. So if you've already hit the like button, we appreciate it so much. It really does help with the algorithm. If you haven't hit it, that's all we ask here. Just begging for likes.
Just like the button.
Just like the button.
Like the button. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night, guys.